Yo, what's good, YouTube? What's good, Maniac Mafia? Yo, we got Disneyland's most preventable tragedy with Fern. Yo, it's a new reaction I'm trying to bring to the channel. Chat, you feel me? Tap it with Fern. They do like basically little deep dives into, little secret shit that we probably shouldn't be knowing on the internet. But guess what? These niggas is here to tell it to us anyway. So let's just check out what the hell Disneyland's most preventable tragedy is. Lord knows Disneyland and a lot of these restaurants, not restaurants, but amusement parks, do be cutting corners when it comes to shit, bro. It's exactly why I don't be going on rides no more. I do not be going on no more rides no more until I see y'all niggas actually be saying that I want like, same way how restaurants get letter grades, I want a letter grade at each and every ride at every single amusement park, bro. And that's gonna let me know it's safe. And until we get that, I ain't gonna lie, I might not have going no more rides.
This is the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. A mine train roller coaster rattling down the tracks at 45 kilometers per hour. One guest will not make it through this next ride alive.
It's good. Y'all can hear it?
Disneyland calls itself the happiest place on Earth.
This kingdom of fantasy and imagination is the happiest place on Earth.
Life-size movie characters,
no damn happiest place on Earth,
and carefree parents. Safety on the rides is supposed to be the park's top priority. But something has changed over the past few years. During the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad crash, riders suffer broken ribs, facial cuts, and painful chest injuries. One person dies. And this is not the only fatal accident in the park. How did this happen? How did the happiest place on Earth turn into a nightmare at the turn of the millennium? We talked to journalists, engineers, and writers to piece the story together.
First of all, Disneyland, let's just say this number one. Y'all motherfuckers too damn expensive for y'all niggas to be out here clapping niggas. Let's say it like that. How you clapping niggas and y'all niggas costing like $1,200, $1,500 just to get into the park? Fuck out of here, bro.
Every couple of weeks, there was some new headline of some horrible thing that happened at Disneyland.
He warned them in writing several times, and they ignored him. They ignored him because it didn't fit into their proposal.
As it turns out, these accidents were no unfortunate coincidence. They appear to have been the result of calculated corporate cost-cutting and disastrous negligence by the staff.
Well, that's
at the center of it all sits one of the world's most powerful consulting firms, McKinsey.
Who? What I say, chat? Them niggas be cutting corners, bro.
My first time I visited Disneyland was in the summer of 1969. I was 6 years old. I just remember the feeling of being someplace unlike any place I'd visited ever before in my life.
I've never been to Disneyland.
It was truly a magical
And how that shit costs, I probably will never go.
For many, a trip to Disneyland, California is a lifelong dream, something they travel from all over the world to experience. Walt Disney, the legendary founder of the entertainment empire, once said, "I don't want the public to see the world they live in while they're in Disneyland. I want them to feel they're in another world."
Disneyland is just able to tap into something that no place else has, a combination of joy, nostalgia, innocence.
Just so y'all know, just a little fun fact, you feel me, chat? Amusement parks pump smells into the parks to give y'all these psychological feelings, bro. Like that ass. When you walk around the amusement park and how you smell churros and cotton candy and just rubber off the balloons everywhere, bro, you smell that little cold, the friction in the, you literally, bro, they're pumping smells into the park to make you want to be there more and make you buy more shit, especially when it comes to the food. The food there is overpriced as fuck. You be paying $15 for one hot dog and maybe $30 for a hot dog and a fucking small drink. But them niggas, I swear to you, is pumping them smells to make you pay $90 for all that bullshit, bro.
Color, light, music, all with a story personalized for each person playing in the background that sews it all together through familiar images and characters.
This is David Koenig. He's written several books about Disneyland, and over the years, he has interviewed around 1,000 Disney employees. Disneyland California opened in 1955, and for decades, it was considered one of the safest theme parks in the world. In 1991, an expert magazine even recognized the park's facilities division as the world's best maintenance organization. But at some point, others start calling the shots. This is Paul Pressler. He's been Disneyland California's top executive for 3 years now. On paper, the numbers don't look bad. The parks division is turning a healthy profit. But Pressler is determined to squeeze out more, because Disney stocks aren't doing so well.
He wanted to impress the board.
Make better movies,
And the
nigga.
way you do that is by
You
cutting
talking about the stocks ain't
expenses.
doing
It's the
good. Make
quickest
better
way.
movies.
And the way to do that was by cutting maintenance.
That's Walt Bogdanich, a New York Times journalist. We interviewed him and his colleague, Mike Forsyth, for this video. They co-authored this book, a key source for our research. You'll find the link in the description. Pressler is a former toy industry executive and known as a hard-nosed cost-cutter. And for that, he brought in help from McKinsey. McKinsey is one of the most prestigious consulting firms in the world. The company hires only the best of the best. Clients pay up to $1,200 per hour for expertise.
$1,200 an hour for consulting, bro? Just for advice, my nigga? Yo, bro. What are these businesses? Like, what are these prices, bro?
Now, a few of those consultants have drawn up a plan to make Disneyland even more profitable. And today, they're pitching their ideas to Pressler. They spent over a year studying every facet of Disneyland, looking for ways to cut costs.
Initially,
Okay.
McKinsey & Company came in and targeted the maintenance division that was known as one of the most respected facilities divisions of any company anywhere.
And yet, the consultants aim to slash the division's budget by 25%, mainly by cutting staff.
So you
To do that,
fired
they
half the
borrowed a
niggas that
concept
keep
from
the
the
park
aviation
fixed.
industry called
You-
reliability-centered maintenance, or
Are
RCM.
you slow?
The idea is that maintenance decisions should not be based on the intuition of experienced employees, but on the
Yeah, are they
analysis
slow?
of repair histories and breakdown rates. According to McKinsey, the resulting increase in efficiency would allow the park to let go or transfer about half of its maintenance staff. And that would save Disney up to $16.9 million per year.
Fire half the staff. You make the other half work the fucking cut that you just fired. Now niggas is overwork stress and they fucking quit. Now you have no staff. Now everything is just shut down, bro. And that's before the whole park gets in danger of niggas just running out of maintenance, bro. What the fuck? Are y'all niggas Ed?
Pressler goes on to put many of those recommendations
Disney.
into practice.
You,
In the
you
past,
lost your
maintenance
mata?
workers were each assigned to one specific ride, which they ended up knowing inside out. Now they're floated between several attractions to maximize efficiency. Also, most maintenance workers are transferred to the night shift. Only a small emergency response team remains to handle mechanical breakdowns during the day. That way, the mechanics can work undisturbed after the park closes its gates.
Moving more folks to third shift probably made some sense, but not moving almost everyone, because there are many things that can't be done in the middle of the night when it's dark and cold and wet. You're not going to effectively painting a building in the middle of the night.
Many employees complain. It's a harsh change for people who've worked days almost their entire lives.
Many of them were devastated by these changes to suddenly have your working conditions worsen by tenfold. You know, if you're working suddenly graveyard shift and never able to see your family, being exhausted on your job, being rushed through what you had to do.
McKinsey responds by granting all overnight workers a free annual subscription to the Working Nights newsletter.
Go yourself.
It features leading experts sharing shift work wisdom on nutrition, sleep, and a healthy family-work balance.
Suck my dick. Suck my dick. That's exactly, if I was with them, if I was working there, I was exactly what I said. Suck my dick. You fire my mans and then you increase my hours, forcing me to be mandated on some bullshit. You force me to work in the dark. And now my prize is you gonna send me a newsletter about what I should be doing after work. Suck my dick. Word bro. From the balls back. Word bro.
To no avail, according to David Koenig, more and more employees are soon being treated for high blood pressure and other stress-related symptoms. Night work significantly increases the risk of chronic health issues and is simply not very healthy. So management brings in psychological counselors. They advise insightful suggestions, such as to use caffeine to stay alert, and have their loved ones videotape daytime family activities so the workers can stay connected to them.
Go overstimulate them. Bet money.
Robert Klostrike is part of Disneyland's maintenance crew. One day, he's interviewed by a McKinsey consultant to review his routine on the Big Thunder Mountain Railroad. The consultant asks him, "Why do you inspect the lap bars every single day? Those are the restraints that hold passengers in their seats. And according to McKinsey's data, they have never failed."
And the maintenance worker said, well, the reason there's no accidents is because we check the lap bars every day. And it was almost as if, we're not going to do, if we were an airline, we're not going to do pre-flight checks because we haven't had accidents in a while.
In 1997,
But because you haven't had an accident, you didn't want to do the fucking check? Disney. Y'all niggas is, yo.
Klostrike sends an internal memo to warn his supervisors.
If you haven't needed
The
a
ongoing
reason to
staff
go to
shortage
Universal
and labor
Studios,
distribution could no longer
this is it.
guarantee effective daily preventative management.
He warned them in writing several times, and they ignored him. They ignored him because it didn't fit into their proposal, which was, look, cost cutting, if we do it in a rational way, is a good thing.
There are better ways to make an organization more efficient. Odoo is an all-in-one business management software that replaces countless scattered tools with ones. And how do they work?
W skip. W snipe, chat. W snipe.
This is Eric Edstrom. He holds an MBA and a master's degree in environmental science from Oxford. Edstrom has served as a soldier in Afghanistan. He returned disillusioned and is now determined to make a difference. He wants to help fight climate change. McKinsey promises him exactly that.
Dream with me for a second.
No!
What if we could be the largest private sector catalyst for decarbonization in the world?
To change the world, make the world just a little bit better place.
To bring a new future to life. Doing something that's meaningful to our clients and ultimately the societies they act on, and being an enabler.
All
for
of them
that
look
kind of-
soulless. Every single one of y'all look like y'all have no fucking soul. Your eyes are pitch black. They have no light in them. I would not trust none of y'all. None of y'all. Not with a newborn, nothing.
change. But it's change that matters.
All right. Come lay down.
In 2018, after working for another consulting group, Edstrom joins McKinsey. He's full of energy and optimism.
If there's one thing McKinsey does very, very well, it's recruit the best and brightest
So they hire
from elite
headhunters.
universities in Europe and the United States and in Asia as well. They appeal to young people, really bright people, with a very attractive package that you'll be able to learn about business in the world, and you might also make a positive difference in the world.
It's not money.
Yeah.
McKinsey is one of the most coveted employers on the planet. Each year, nearly 1 million people apply for just a few thousand spots. Only about 1% make it in. The firm claims to serve 90 of the top 100 corporations worldwide. McKinsey also advises governments around the world, from ICE in the US and the German Defense Ministry, to past stints with Saudi Arabia and Russia.
They're
Damn,
doctors
niggas
for
plug.
companies. They're corporate doctors. That's how they like to view themselves. In the most simple terms, they have knowledge that for many reasons companies pay for, and they pass on that knowledge for good or ill to their clients.
They spies. Okay. Companies do that a lot. Companies actually do pay for a lot of spying information, 100%, bro. I heard about Coca-Cola doing some shit like that, bro. Like they did
Hiring
that shit to
McKinsey
Pepsi.
means getting support from a small army
think it
of
was the other way
exceptionally
around,
smart
but
and highly trained
I get the point.
advisors. These consultants help managers with some of their most challenging tasks, acquire other companies, drive innovation, or cut costs. Or at least they try to help.
One of the problems is that when you hire McKinsey, you're hiring young people who don't have experience. You're hiring people who don't know your industry, and you're paying them a lot of money because supposedly they have this genius. Because they're McKinsey, they know what to do, but often they don't know what to do. And frankly, they're just doing what management tells them to do because management doesn't want to take responsibility for layoffs or for cost cutting. So it's easier to say, hey, well, McKinsey told us to do it.
Disneyland chairman Paul Pressler and McKinsey go on to form a highly profitable alliance. The consultants deliver good numbers, which appear to legitimize the layoffs and budget cuts. Meanwhile, Pressler continues to climb the ranks inside Disney.
Being honest, not everything on paper is gonna make sense for humans, bro. I wish it did. I wish everything that we did wrote down on paper would make sense for us, bro. But it don't.
The effects of the rigid cost cutting slowly start to show throughout the park.
We in the
Paint
90s
is
now,
peeling here
Chad.
and there. Rides break down more often. And when the lights on Main Street go dark, no one replaces the bulbs anymore.
Most of that preventive maintenance was gone, and it was just sort of emergency, last-minute, slapdash, get this thing working in the middle of the night maintenance. Things were breaking down constantly. The late 90s, you would walk through Disneyland, and it would be a third of the attractions could be closed. Unfortunately, there were consequences for these many decisions of moving to people in charge who didn't necessarily have a familiarity with how to operate the attractions.
Christmas Eve, 1998.
My birthday.
Luann Dawson is 33 and works as a software engineer at Microsoft. He and his wife and son are standing in line for a ride called Rivers of America. The Columbia, an old-fashioned riverboat, is approaching the dock. According to David Koenig, management significantly reduced the number of crew members to the bare minimum of 3. Today, one of them is running late. Another colleague agrees to fill in at the last minute. She's standing at the dock, holding a nylon rope and ready to dock the ship. Disneyland's safety protocol says she should wait until the Columbia has fully stopped and reversed, but she's new to this section of the park.
I've got a bad feeling about this.
2 months ago, she completed a 10-day crash course covering 7 different attractions. She has never docked the Columbia before and has not been trained to operate the ride.
Oh my God!
She's cooked. She's cooked. Lord, she's cooked.
The 4-kilogram iron cleat on the ship's hull is loose. The wood around it is rotten. She throws the rope. Too early. The ship is still moving. And the cleat is torn from the ship. It shoots back to
If you watch Final Destination, then I know for a fact we all just saw that scene, bro. With like the farm, it was the car crash, my nigga. It was literally just the scene after the fucking. I'm gonna put the shit inside the video for y'all to see this shit, bro. I'm gonna put the shit in here, bro. But when I say my eyes just had a complete flashback, bro. Oh my, oh my God. For all of us that was raised in the early, like the 90s, early 2000s, Final Destination really traumatized niggas, bro. Like real shit. Final Destination is the reason why I can't do a lot of shit right now, bro.
towards the dock and hits the employee's foot and ankle.
Oh,
Then it
thank you,
ricochets
God.
upwards, crushing Luann Dawson's skull and striking his wife across the face. The dock is almost immediately cleaned by Disneyland personnel.
Hey, hold up.
According to Koenig, they also brief witnesses on what to say to the police. But officers don't arrive for 5 hours. Apparently, they only heard about the accident from the paramedics. 48 hours later, Luann Dawson is declared brain dead at the hospital and taken off his respirator. An investigation by the competent authority blames the accident on inadequate staff training. Several employees will later remember having noticed the loose cleat and the rotting wood around it.
People died. And they train people to, they train the employees to tell the cops what the hell happened, bro. Disney. Now, I know y'all niggas own a lot of companies, bro. Like, chat, Disney owns a lot of companies, bro. Like, what, bro? Y'all niggas scared the fuck out of me, bro. I'm not going to Disney. I'm sorry. I ain't gonna lie. Swoozie, you my nigga. I love you, Swoozie. You feel me? Shout out Swoozie, chat. You feel me? Shout out my boy Swoozie. I love you, Swoozie. But I will never go to Disney. Always, I will forever go to Universal. I ain't gonna lie. It's Universal Studios forever now, bro. I ain't gonna lie. Disney, yeah, you cooked with me, bro.
But it was obviously never repaired. The weak wood is never formally identified as a cause of the accident.
the new regime and the McKinsey recommendations had made so many cutbacks. Everything sort of accumulated into this perfect storm of terror.
They fired
It was
everybody, nigga,
horrible.
of course.
The Dawson family sues the park for damages. Disney settles out of court and pays an estimated $20 to $25 million. The exact terms of the settlement are sealed. At first, Disneyland reacts by
Niggas
updating
got
ride
paid.
procedures and bringing back experienced ride operators across the park. But according to David Koenig, many of these safety measures are quietly rolled back soon after.
Some new procedures were instituted immediately as far as
Niggas did not
extra
learn.
precautions and how to operate the ship. But unfortunately, many of the most important reasons that allowed this accident to happen related to the cutbacks, those were allowed to continue.
It was forgotten because it was believed that McKinsey was doing the right thing. And
You know what's crazy, chat? I'm sorry, I ain't gonna lie. Y'all know I be not trying to pause so much, but that's the crazy part, bro. Let's really talk about it. Companies will really fire the nigga that do the job, bro, and keep the niggas that don't do no work, bro. They will fire the niggas that have been there for years, bro. Show up every day, don't call out. Niggas work every 365, bro. Overtime, bro. The niggas is working damn near 50 hours a week and will get fired, bro, because them niggas check their phone because they wife text them, they kid text them, bro. It's an emergency. It be the realest shit. But yeah, you see the nigga that never come in on time. The nigga that always take 15-minute breaks over, bro. The nigga that's always walking. Yo, I swear to God, bro, chat, we have them one niggas and they never get fired, bro. America is really, America, y'all niggas is evil. American workforce is evil, bro.
Disney was doing the right thing by listening to them. And accidents do happen. I mean, that is a fact. There's no way that, a company can avoid all problems.
What they really tried to do, at least try to interpret their actions from the outside, appeared to be doing was to protect their own bad decisions and cutbacks as to sort of cover their backsides.
2 months
Niggas
after the
covering
Columbia
their
tragedy,
ass. I got
Marriott's
you, player.
worker Robert Klostreich resends his warning. This time he submits it directly to one of the park's senior managers. He writes, "I'm concerned that the attractions are deteriorating even more." Shortly after, Klostreich is fired.
Damn.
Disney claims he was let go because he refused to work night shifts. Klostreich himself believes he was dismissed for blowing the whistle. The cost-cutting doesn't seem to slow down Paul Pressler's own ascent. By the time of the Columbia accident, he had just been promoted to president of the entire Disney theme park division. But this is only the beginning. In 2000, a 4-year-old boy named Brandon Zucker falls out of a spinning car on the Roger Rabbit cartoon spin. He's trapped under the following car and stuck there for 10 minutes before first responders can get him out.
What? What?
Brandon suffers severe brain damage and can never walk or talk again.
How are people still going? Oh, everybody watch me. I ain't even gonna lie. How y'all still going to Disney? How can you really read this, bro? Real shit, and still go to Disney, bro? One, I bet not ever hear you fucking tell me you taking Jackson to Disney. I promise you, I'm gonna come to your house and fuck you up myself.
He dies at just 13 years old.
As your brother,
There's no
you feel me?
evidence
I'm
that
gonna
ties
just
the accident
slap
directly
sense
to the
into you,
cost-cutting
you feel me?
measures. But an
There ain't no
official
way in hell.
investigation
You better be taking
once
that nigga to
again cites
Universal
grave
Studios
mistakes
only.
committed by the staff. Brandon Zucker should never have been seated closest to the cutout entryway of the car. Also, ride operators probably failed to properly lower his lap bar. It stands to reason that better training might have prevented the tragedy from happening.
To my knowledge, the
R.I.P.
experts
Lil
from
Mans.
McKinsey and Company that were brought in, none of them had any theme park experience. They were all folks who were trained in doing business better in general. In a sense, that's what Disney really wanted. Their company had been run by theme park experts since its founding 40 years before.
McKinsey is hired to solve problems and make companies better. But better in what way? Better for whom? McKinsey has made a lot of money working for the tobacco industry. It has advised authoritarian governments, and has helped the ICE department in the US, quote-unquote, optimize its detention and deportation processes.
Please get them niggas off my
But
screen.
perhaps the most haunting example
Please
is
get them
this
niggas
one.
off. Please get
Since
them
the
niggas off my screen.
mid-90s, U.S. pharmaceutical company Purdue has been selling a drug called Oxycontin. The company said it had a low risk of addiction, but that claim turned out to be false. As of 2004, McKinsey was deeply involved in helping Purdue turbocharge sales of the highly addictive opioid.
Y'all niggas is drug traffickers too? Not only did you clap niggas at Disney, you're trafficking drugs into America? Yo, Trump, ain't these the motherfuckers you said that you wanted out the country? But because they white, they cool, right? Because they white, they cool. I don't even get political, chat. Y'all know I don't even do the political shit, bro. I don't even do that. But bro, how you gonna say you want drugs out the countries and you attacking the immigrants? And yet, my nigga, these is the motherfuckers that's mass producing Oxycontin? Make it make sense, bro.
No way, bro.
One strategy involved identifying which doctors were most likely to generate the biggest increases in Oxycontin prescriptions if actively targeted by Purdue's sales force. We know all this because McKinsey alluded to it in court. McKinsey also helped Purdue avoid problems with the U.S. food and...
Oh! They admitted to it. And them niggas is still a company?
Drug Administration. The FDA also happened to be one of McKinsey's clients.
You know, not only was McKinsey working with the regulator,
the Federal Drug Administration was a customer of these niggas?
Sometimes it was the same consultants doing that work. The same consultants would be advising the Food and Drug Administration in the United States, and they would also be on a project with an opioid maker.
Since 1999,
nah, bro, this to really tell y'all, chat, I'm sorry, bro, but why do so many fucking government agencies rely on so many monopoly of these companies, bro? Like, I swear to God, y'all know how many government agencies rely on Amazon for shipping? No bullshit. Do y'all understand how many government agencies rely on Amazon for shipping, bro?
more than 850,000 people in the U.S. have died from opioid-related overdoses. Purdue isn't the only culprit, but the company played a major role in fueling America's opioid crisis. Eventually, thousands of opioid lawsuits were filed against Purdue Pharma and its owners, the Sackler family. They agreed to a $7.4 billion settlement after previously paying $5.5 billion in fines. The company is now bankrupt. McKinsey spent years shaping Purdue's strategy. While Bogdanich says they've always used the same exact excuse to
ain't
dodge
no way in
any
hell y'all
sort
can still
of
be a company
responsibility.
after bodying
They
niggas
can
like that.
always say and have said that we just gave advice, we didn't give orders.
You full of That's what you are. You full of
They can always slip out of responsibility by saying that, well, we recommended it, but we didn't carry out the orders. And that worked for a long time until the opioid crisis.
We were able to look at thousands and thousands of documents about that case, and it really did present a picture of these McKinsey consultants that were working extremely close with the management. They were part of the team, and the result was that they did have to pay a price.
In 2024, McKinsey paid over $600 million to settle investigations into its role in the opioid crisis. The firm has since apologized for its involvement. The statement can still be found on its official website. It reads, "This terrible public health crisis and our past work for opioid manufacturers will always be a source of profound regret for our firm." The statement also emphasizes that the company introduced comprehensive compliance reforms. And yet, McKinsey even advised Purdue Pharma on how to counter emotional messages from families who lost members to opioid overdoses. The firm also admitted to this in court. We don't know if McKinsey offered a similar service to Disney after. Well,
oh shit, here we go again.
Oh boy.
By now, more and more Disneyland employees are speaking up against McKinsey. But hey, doesn't every business try to optimize?
The year my girl was born.
And what's the big deal with making the park more efficient?
You see, bro? It's
Sure,
that
you
Final
can't please
Destination
everyone
shit.
during a transition like this. And McKinsey only ever gives advice. The final shots are always called by the park's management.
Bro.
Marcelo Torres dies at only 22 years old. His best friend was seated next to him and survives, severely injured. 9 other passengers are hurt in the accident. That morning, staff at Big Thunder Mountain Railroad had noticed a strange noise coming from the train, but they didn't know how to respond and ended up hesitating too long. Torres's family sues Disney and investigators step in. They conclude the accident was the result of poor maintenance and insufficient staff training. But the family's lawyer goes further. This was not just one mechanic making a mistake. This was really systemic to how they were running the park.
Good, bro. I hope they
There's
got
still a lot
everything.
we simply
I hope
don't
they
know
got
about the
park.
Disneyland case, like which consultants were involved, which of their recommendations were actually implemented. Neither Disney nor Paul Pressler responded to our questions. McKinsey denies any responsibility for the accidents.
I bet they do.
One of the biggest mysteries is the maintenance system known as RCM, the method the consultants borrowed from other industries. RCM is considered a gold standard in aviation, nuclear industries, and railroad infrastructure. So why didn't it work at Disneyland?
Sometimes that might be done, as we would say, in English, in cookie cutter fashion, and, the same solution for different industries. And so, perhaps what went wrong is they tried this cookie cutter approach to Disneyland that might have worked for another industry, but it didn't work there.
Disney's not a normal factory. It's not an assembly line where you can just take things from other industries and say, oh, well, what worked there in this produce factory is going to work in operating the Indiana Jones adventure.
Yeah, no shit, Sherlock.
We reached out to Marius
You
Bassin,
cannot run a
one of the leading
supermarket
experts on
like a
reliability-centered
club.
maintenance.
It's
His
not the
company,
same.
Aladon, owns the trademarks for 2 major RCM protocols. Bassin doesn't know all the technical details of what happened at Disneyland, but he strongly doubts that RCM was applied correctly. He thinks that, in theory, RCM could work in a theme park environment. But he also writes, if RCM is used to reduce costs, it is probably applied incorrectly. RCM, or reliability-centered maintenance, is not cost-centered maintenance. The problem with most RCM program implementations is that senior management and stockholders want to see immediate benefits and cost reduction. We don't know if RCM was applied incorrectly at Disneyland or is just used as a pretext for cutting costs, or whether it was the wrong approach to begin with. What we do know is that many people believe the cost-cutting measures recommended by McKinsey have played a role in the accidents. But was the firm ever held accountable?
What now, bro? What now? This shit says anniversary, bro. The company should have went bankrupt by this point, my nigga. Like, and it did. So what now? What more could be? Yo.
Eric Edstrom joined McKinsey full of hope and idealism, but he soon realizes that the company was not living up to its promises.
I joined McKinsey in 2018, and while I was there, I found that the projects that were available were not anything like what were advertised. And rather than what you might see on a McKinsey website, which talks about vaccine cold storage or renewable energy, that in practice is far and few in between.
He grows increasingly disillusioned. He can only watch as McKinsey helps fossil fuel companies become even more efficient at extracting coal and oil from the ground, even though the firm had originally recruited him with the prospect of fighting climate change.
Preserving energy, but niggas is killing
Eventually,
the
he's
earth.
had enough. He sends out a farewell statement that ricochets around McKinsey offices across the globe. We know it from the book When McKinsey Comes to Town. As an organization, McKinsey seems to talk a lot about values and principles without taking a valued or principled stand for much of anything. In my mind, McKinsey is an amoral institution, an organization that regularly takes on clients
They
who
a
bring
demon.
harm to others.
John, let me tell you one thing right now. Companies like this are demons. They're demons. And they have littler demons, smaller demons working inside them, bro, to make the bigger demon just go even bigger. You feel me? I'm telling you right now, these are evil ass people, bro. These are demons, bro. These are not God's people. These are the devil's people, bro. These niggas don't do nothing but take from the earth and will bro, these niggas are comfortable knowing that they are ruining the planet for everybody, but as long as they get to sit back in their hot tub, they jacuzzi with they sparkling water, they butler with service, they rather let the planet explode, bro, and sit here and be happy, bro. These are demons, bro.
We would have loved to hear Disney and Paul Pressler's take on the allegations made against them, Unfortunately, neither responded. We also sent a laundry list of questions to McKinsey. For example, we were curious about what the consultants themselves thought about their work at Disneyland. But instead of giving concrete answers, McKinsey pointed us to a general statement of theirs from 2022. There it says that the book by Walt Bogdanich and Mike Forsyth fundamentally misrepresents the firm and its work. The statement also claims that McKinsey's clients contributed to 80% of global CO2 reductions in recent years. We can't independently verify that number, nor whether McKinsey's work for those clients has anything to do with climate mitigation. The allegation that McKinsey's work has directly contributed to mass layoffs is rejected as a stereotype about consultants. The statement says that McKinsey is typically hired to help clients grow their business and expand their workforce. The company has supposedly learned from its mistakes and invested around $1 billion in a new risk management and compliance system. The firm claims it now has the industry's most rigorous client selection policy. The statement further denies any form of responsibility for the incidents at Disneyland. So we decided to follow up again, asking what McKinsey had to say about the many reports suggesting the firm's recommendations did play a role. A spokesman replied,
"We aren't commenting on whether or not we served a particular client, but rather we reject the author's attempt to connect our work to events and issues that we simply had nothing to do with."
But yet you were hired by Disney to be consultants for them, bro, to cut costs. So technically you are 100% responsible because it was your recommendations. You recommended, but they didn't have to take it, but they hired you to make the recommendations, bro. What? What is going on, bro? With the math? Yo, but this is why I say, bro, rich people are the biggest scammers, bro. Rich people are the biggest scammers, bro, because once they get the money, they can just keep scamming, bro. Once they get the money, they get the lawyers, and the lawyers just keep on scamming, bro. You just keep paying the lawyer, keep paying that lawyer, bro. The money just keep, yo. So rich people are fucking
The firm was never sued
bro.
over its connection to Disneyland tragedies. Paul Pressler left Disney in 2002 and became CEO of the Gap clothing chain. He is currently the chairman of the board of directors of eBay. The family of Marcelo Torres has reached an out-of-court settlement with Disney for an undisclosed sum. The company accepts responsibility for the Big Thunder Mountain accident. Torres' parents have given $500,000 from the settlement to provide scholarships to aspiring talents at their son's former college. Marcelo Torres was a graphic artist.
So there was just all this bad publicity, and we were about less than 2 years away from the 50th anniversary of Disneyland. This is 2003, and the 50th anniversary of Disneyland was planned to be the biggest celebration the Disney company in any facet has ever had. They knew that all cameras, that not all attention, everything would be on Disneyland. Accidents were still relatively infrequent, just much more frequent than they had been before. But when
Whole time niggas
the Big
on
Thunder
death traps,
Mountain
don't even know it.
accident happened, they realized, oh my gosh, what are we doing? This has got to stop.
Oh my god! Chloe, we're going to Disneyland! Oh my god!
Is that the real clip? You bullshitting. That's the real clip.
Disneyland eventually recovered. Since 2003, no visitors have died due to poor maintenance or errors committed by the staff. Apparently, with McKinsey and Pressler gone, a shift in mentality followed.
I don't
the park
know.
returned to its once stellar and globally renowned safety standards.
If you was hot and shit before,
And
why wouldn't I think you hot and shit now?
2005, for that 50th anniversary, Disneyland was truly the happiest place on earth once again.
In 2022, Disney once again hired McKinsey. This time, the consultants were asked to identify redundancies and cost-saving opportunities across Disney's operations. According to the Wall Street Journal, McKinsey proposed stripping top creative executives of control over how their work is marketed. And once again, Disney employees started to protest against McKinsey's recommendations.
Y'all see how the video ended, but they didn't say that them niggas was fired. So that means that Disney is technically might still be working with these niggas, bro. Yeah, Wanda, if I ever hear you say you taking Jackson to Disneyland, I promise you, it's these, brother. It's these, you feel me? It's all these, bro. I promise you. If all my chat out here, I ain't gonna tell you where to spend your money because that's slander. And technically, I know them niggas can come for a nigga. But bro, when I say I'm going to Universal, I love Universal. So if you like the video, you feel me, make sure you drop a like, drop a comment. That was a fucking banger reaction right there, child. I ain't even gonna lie, that was a fucking banger. Make sure you drop a like, drop a comment, hit the notification bell, click the Twitch link down below. Subscribe, chat, subscribe to the channel. I see y'all watching, you feel me? I know you like the video, so make sure you subscribe. Do your part, you feel me? Click the Twitch link down below to see the reactions live. I'm gonna see y'all in the next one. Peace.